Welcome to this first video in this 4-video series, The Path to Profits, App Development That Makes Money, or How Not to Make the Same Stupid Mistakes Most New Developers Make. This video is really going to touch on the single biggest mistake that I see being made by new developers. Before we get into the video, into this video series, there's something I want you to understand. Number one, there's not going to be very much in the way of eye candy with this thing. I think in this video I have a few animations, but seriously, in the rest of the video series, there's no animations. Everything is all very simple. The idea here is to just give you the information that you need without all of the normal BS. Okay. That way I can give you much more information in much less time, which is good for all of us. That said, let's get on with the show. Stats that kind of suck. There are 8,000 new apps submitted every single day, and about 5,000 are actually approved and made available on the iTunes App Store every single day. The overwhelming majority of these new app submissions come from small developers. Okay, this is an important thing to understand. Of the 5,000 apps that get approved every day, very nearly all of them come from a small developer. Despite that, only 50 apps that are actually approved in any one day are likely to achieve any success, but of those, only 10 come from a small developer. That means the large development houses are putting in a fairly small number of new apps and obtaining the overwhelming majority lion's share of the money, of the downloads, of the recognition and notoriety. The big guys are getting almost all of it. Only of all the apps that are approved every day, only 10 come from a small developer. Okay? That means that 99.8% of small developers fail. Okay, this is an important thing to understand. 99.8% of the people that are listening to the sound of my voice are probably going to fail unless you follow my advice. So here's the truth. Here's how this thing really plays out. Because there's this only 0.2% succeed, what we really want to do here is put you in that group. What we want to do through this video is kind of show you what separates the winners from the losers, so that way you can be one of those 0.2% of new developers that succeed. That's what we want to do. This video just by itself, just this one video, is going to help you do that. So, the mistakes. The biggest mistake that I see is number one, new developers have their development process out of order. In fact, this video is going to touch on that item specifically. There is very little or zero marketing of their apps done, and not enough thought is given to monetization. We're actually going to cover all three of these things through this video series. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about monetization. I'm even going to talk about a few tips and tricks that you can use to get your apps created quicker, on time, and on budget, instead of like what most of you guys get. You know, you're told an app is going to take 3 weeks or a month, and it takes 12 or 16 weeks, and it takes twice as much money. We're going to stop that crap through this video series. Your apps will be created on time and on budget. That said, I want to give you what I call the 99.8% process. Now, remember the stat that I gave you. 99.8% of developers, of small developers fail. Okay, so this right here, what I'm going to show you is the process that will cause you to fail, or it stands a very high likelihood of causing you to fail. Okay, this is the process that you don't want to use, and it starts with people getting the app idea. The new Appreneur, they get an app idea, they start looking for an app developer, and then they have the app created, and then they submit the app, and the app goes live in the App Store. This process is the process of a failing developer. And now let me show you why. What happens is, right about the time that the app goes live, there's the oh crap moment. The oh crap moment is, oh crap, how am I going to get downloads and how am I going to make money? Okay, you have asked those two questions at the wrong time, and therefore this process sucks. Do not use this process. 99.8% of developers use this process, and that's why they fail. Okay, why are you going to create an app if you don't even know whether or not anybody wants it? Now, I have heard people say, yeah, but I'm creating an app very much like this other one that has a whole bunch of downloads, that has a whole bunch, that's making a whole bunch of money. Okay, yeah, great. But that means that a whole bunch of people have already downloaded it. If the only thing that you're going to do is, well, my graphics are better, that ain't going to be enough. People are going to say, it's just like this other thing that I already got. So why do I want another app just like the app that I already have? Okay. So number one, why are you going to create an app if you aren't even sure anybody even wants it? Why are you going to create an app if you aren't even sure that anybody can even hear about your app? And why are you going to create an app if you can't make very much money from it? Okay. The app process, the 99.8% app process, you do not get to answer any of these questions because you don't know. You create an app, it goes live on the App Store, and only then do you start thinking about marketing and monetization and everything else. So let's be smarter. Let me give you the 0.2% process. This is the process that smart app developers who succeed wildly follow. This is the process that I want you to follow coming up. And it starts with getting the app idea. After you get the app idea, the next thing you need to do is stop, not look for an app developer. What you need to do instead is some market research. This will help you determine whether or not anybody even wants your app in the first place. Market research done properly automatically generates marketing partners. So before you've even started coding your app, you've got marketing partners done, ready to go, and lined up, so that way at least 1 million people will get to hear about your app. Now I'm going to stop right here. You might be thinking, all this is fine and dandy, but how do I do this stuff? Okay. The App Monarch training platform is going to teach you every single step of this along the way. Right? That's why I created the App Monarch training platform, was to help small developers become more successful. Okay, so stick with me. We're going to get you there, but I got to give you this foundational stuff first. Okay, once you've done the market research and you've lined up the marketing partners, so that way you know the market wants it, you know that a lot of people are going to hear about your app, the next thing you need to start thinking about is money. How can you fully, absolutely, and completely monetize this application so that you make the most money possible for the least amount of work? Okay, I want you to notice something. We haven't looked for a coder yet. The reason why is you do the market research to find out if the market wants your app. Then you line up marketing partners, so that way when your app goes live, a lot of people will hear about the existence of your app. Then you start thinking about how you're going to make money from your app. And only last do you have the app created and submitted to the App Store. This way, when the app goes live, you turn on your marketing partners, you hit the go button, a bunch of people hear about your app, and you get a whole bunch of downloads. And because you've fully monetized your app, you also get to make a whole lot of money. This is the marketing process that I want you to follow. Now, like I said before, this is obviously only the first video of what is easily the most complete app creation, marketing, and monetization training in existence, and I call it the App Monarch training platform. You get the training in the theory and the actual process behind app creation, marketing, and monetization. Okay, you're going to get the theory and the foundational knowledge behind how it all works. Then I'm also going to walk you through actually building a real app that appears in the App Store, showing you every single step along the way in actual practice. Okay? Nobody else. There's not a single other bit of training out there that does this. Okay? This way you get to see an actual app business being constructed, so that way you know exactly what to do and exactly when to do it. So what I would like you to do now is continue to the next video in the series. Okay, you're going to want to check out the rest of the videos. There's 4 of them. They're free, and I hope you do enjoy them. Pretty much that's it. That's all you got to do. There's no cost. There's no obligation. Just keep going the rest of the way into the series, and that's it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.